All right, guys, Joe Teti, Dill Comstock here on the range, living life large. So we got 3 targets here. What do you see when you see these 3 targets? Well, what you see here on this first target is we're going to be talking about the balance between speed and accuracy. All right, you've got target number 1, target number 2, target number 3. Target number 1, I actually made these targets. I shot them for demonstration purposes. This target right here has 10 rounds on it, okay? It's got 10 rounds. Right on top of each other, you could probably put a silver dollar on it and cover that up. That's great. Doing all the 7 fundamentals: sight alignment, sight picture, grip, stance, breathing, follow through, and trigger press. Easy day, right?
Hey guys, I'm jumping in here real fast. I want to give you some free videos. Go check out the description. We got a link to our free Fight Enders video. It's totally free. In that video, you'll get trained by martial artists, Green Berets, Black Ops, a whole bunch of specialists in the military and martial artists. The video is totally free. The link's in the description. Go check it out. Back to the video.
This target here, I shot 10 rounds. But as you can see, it looks like I shot a shotgun, all right? The difference between these 2 targets is I was shooting too slow. This is kind of like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, right? This porridge is too hot, this one's too cold. All right, this person's shooting too slow. Their rounds are right on top of each other. It's great, but you could way speed it up. This guy here shot a little bit too fast. He's got one outside of the bowling pin, and the rounds are just a little bit too far apart. This is where you want to be, right? You've got rounds, they're right in the center of the chest, about 2 inches apart, and Dale's going to be talking about ballistic wound effects here in a minute. But anyway, this is balance between speed and accuracy visually being seen. Shooting too slow, shooting too fast, shooting just right. And we will demonstrate this in an upcoming video. But this is the visual definition of the balance between speed and accuracy. So for those of you watching this video, I guarantee you, if you're a shooter, you have done this. You've gone to the range and you want to come home with this pretty little target that's got one big hole in the center. That's a crock of shit. You're wasting your time on the range if you're doing that. You're doing all the 7 fundamentals and you got this pretty target, but you're not pushing yourself to get that balance between speed and accuracy. You're shooting too slow. So you want to make sure when you go to the range that you tune yourself up. So I do it all the time. When I come to the range, I'll start slinging rounds because I'm going faster and faster and faster, and I get to that point where where you get to kind of like critical mass, where my skill is pretty much maxed out, and I'll start throwing rounds. That's okay. That's how you get faster. Once you do that, you just dial it back down a little bit, you tighten up your shot group, and that's how you find your balance between speed and accuracy. Look, it's painful. Nobody wants to go to the range, in front of friends and guys like Dale and start throwing rounds, but that's the only way you will get faster and more accurate. And remember this, you never ever sacrifice accuracy for speed. Never.
So we've talked about, Joe's talked about accuracy, speed and accuracy, and trying to find that balance. Here's one of the issues that I come across all the time with novice shooters, and actually guys that think they're pretty good shooters. They don't understand the fundamental fact that you have to look for your front sight, and you're really focusing on the front sight. So if you're out there wondering, well, you think you're aiming, at your target, and you're looking for your front sight and your rear sight, and you see the target. Well, what are you focusing on? Ask yourself, think about it for a minute. When you go out on range, what are you focusing on? What you're supposed to focus on, what you should focus on, is the front sight. The front sight should be clearly in view. Clearly in view. The rear sight should be blurry, and your target should be blurry. Okay? You can't bring all three into focus at one time. You just can't. Okay? So if you focus on the target, what's going to happen is your rear sight and your front sight are going to be blurry. They're blurry, that means it's going to be difficult for you to align them. If you're focusing on the rear sight and it's in focus, that means the front sight and the target are blurry. Again, alignment's going to be off. Ideally, what you want to do is focus on the front sight. You're going to pick up the rear sight in your peripheral vision. You're going to pick up the target in your peripheral vision, and all that's going to come in alignment. But most importantly, if you pick up your front sight, and even if your front sight's not properly aligned with the rear sight, but the front sight is over the top of the target, there's a pretty good chance you're going to hit the target. Range dependent and speed dependent. but usually you're going to hit your target. So it's always important that you focus on the front sight first. Remember, I mean, consciously look for the front sight and ignore, not completely ignore, but try not to focus on the target, try not to focus on the rear sight. Make sure everything's in alignment. So you have a sight picture, which is my target, my front sight, my rear sight. That's my sight picture. And my sight alignment is the alignment of the front sight into the rear sight, superimposed over the target. When all that is perfect, you take that shot. And as Joe said, you can't miss fast enough. If you think all that's in it, you pull that trigger really fast, guess what? There's more fundamentals to shooting besides the sight picture and sight alignment, which we're going to talk about here, in the next video. Essentially, that's the first thing up front that you need to understand. You're looking for the front sight. Too many guys focus on the rear sight of the target and they wonder why they're not hitting the target. Or maybe they are hitting the target, but when they try to hit multiple targets, they're a mess. So what we're going to teach you is the basic fundamentals: front sight first, front sight picture, front sight alignment, and trigger press.
So guys, that is the visual demonstration of the balance between speed and accuracy. And again, don't be afraid to sling rounds to gain your speed, but you don't want to sacrifice accuracy. But that's the only way you're going to be able to find out your balance. And so we're going to be making another video here very shortly, and Dale's going to be talking about ballistic wound effects, and this right here plays into what Dale's going to be talking about.